People, when they first join up, they would say, I don't actually have much food waste. But then I get there and they go, oh, my bucket's completely full. But over time it comes down.
I had no idea how much waste I had. I couldn't believe it. It was I didn't think I'd fill that bucket up.
What I'm doing with the members is reintegrating them to a natural nutrient cycling system, which is what happens throughout the world, like the natural observable world. Nutrients move from one thing to another.
Yeah.
So this is a food waste composter. The way it works is you're putting food waste in the top and the same volume of wood chips, and then you crank the handle which churns it all up, moves it along the vessel and aerates everything that's in there as you do that. And the oldest stuff drops out at the other end, which you can then move on to a bay to mature into a finished compost. So this is the sort of pre-compost, so you know a lot of this is not recognisable food anymore. You see all the woody material, but most of the food is gone. So you get these lumps, but what will happen is when they go into the bioreactor, the big bay, then the rest of this will all sort of get broken down in that phase.
I tried before and it wasn't great, but since I've had the compost, I've just flourished the garden, the flowers, and it's changed the perspective of life for me. What I buy, what's recyclable. Don't buy anything unless you need it. So it's a bigger aspect of how I look at how I live now.
Straight into the bioreactor with this now. It's a very fancy tub, just a cleverly constructed compost bay, which is a kind of static bay, but by filling it around these tubes, it's all passively oxygenated. This membrane will hold moisture, but it's breathable. It's up on a pallet so oxygen can get under it, so you can get under it, all around it, above, and then drawn up through, so those tubes go right the way to the bottom, so the oxygen can kind of get through the pile and you don't have to turn it anymore. That allows fungal biomass to grow, and every time you kind of turn compost you kind of chop that up a bit and set it back and end up with a product that's got a lot more bacteria. So this way you're maximising the fungi by allowing it to just do its thing. There's lots of like little flies. I mean, even like now it's November, but there's lots of little bugs and things around. Not like gross big things. There's lots of little bugs, different ones. And so it's about, we're kind of producing lots of biodiversity within the compost, but also, you know, more tangible stuff as well. Like I have like the rivers just here, and we have like big dragonflies coming up. And I've seen them they're like a dinosaur. They like swoop mid-air and just like chomping up like a little fruit fly or something. This is the compost after it's been through the bioreactor. Bacteria will create like a carbon-based alkaline glue, and they start mining nutrients, and the fungi come along and they grab onto these microaggregates that are created by the bacteria, and they create this macroaggregate, which is what you can see. It's this friable texture that's sort of all the way down, like none of it's compacted as far down as you want to go in here. It's all beautiful, which creates space for oxygen to come in, water to be absorbed and retained. As a result of that, you get protozoa and nematodes come in, and they start eating the bacteria and the fungi, and they're releasing plant available nutrients constantly. This is living compost, and that's just the life that you can see. The majority of the life in here is microscopic, so it's bacteria, fungi, protozoa, nematodes. You've got microarthropods right up to the worms that you can see, and it has a beautiful smell to it, like a kind of sweet forest floor. Hello.
Think about it, to be fair.
Well, people don't. When you say we'll throw it away,
yeah,
you imagine that away is somewhere, but there is no away.
No.
There's only here.
Yeah. I even go out in the rain and put my stuff out there.
I do, yeah, it's good.
So, yeah, no, I don't. I just enjoy it. I feel like I'm doing something good, which makes living a bit better, because in our generation, like I said, the way we grew up, we just took everything for granted. You didn't do anything. So every day you're seeing it doing something good for the planet. And now I'm aware of my grandchildren, and you know,
Yeah.
I need to make that a better place for them. Bought that one, and it doubled in size the first time I put your compost in it. And obviously I found this little one.
So that's the one that you thought was dead?
That was the one that looked like it was dying and was going to go to nowhere. So I bought it, and you said you didn't look at that. I don't think that's working. Look at it now.
And so that's the same plant as this
Yes.
big one here?
Yeah. But that's because you've got your compost in there.
Yeah, I can tell by looking what compost's on there. I mean, one of the most visible differences is the commercial stuff, and they sieve it all and it's very, very fine, whereas we allow some bigger, woodier bits in there, which is the fungal
better.
food. You can see that there.
Yeah. I admire what you do. I think it's amazing.
Thanks.